I try to keep things relatively positive on this channel, trying to focus on my favorite parts of both the old and the new Assassin's Creed games. But today, I kind of have no choice but to be a professional hater. This is less of a scripted video and more of honestly a cry for help, because I want to discuss something that for some reason hasn't really been explained by anyone in the industry or the community, at least not that I could find. And I just want to highlight an issue that I think is deeply affecting the perceived quality of the newer Assassin's Creed games, and that's its horrific, and I mean absolutely horrific voice acting. Bear in mind, this video has no answers. I don't have the answers as to why voice acting has gotten so bad. I have a couple of theories, but if anyone in the comments is more clued in than me on this, please share your wisdom down there, because I've been scratching my head at this for so long. The quality of voice acting in Assassin's Creed games has taken a suicidal nosedive into the realm of mediocrity. Something that sounds like it's AI generated or acted out by a drama school student for a high school project. There's been an insane influx of mediocre voice actors since Assassin's Creed Origins, and I have absolutely no idea why. Ubisoft is capable of finding good voice actors still. I mean, Bayek's voice actor, for example, Cassandra's voice actor, Mayo Lavor's voice actor. All of these actors are extremely great, Bayek being the most remarkable. But it seems that Ubisoft puts no effort into building out a supporting cast that is entertaining to listen to beyond that. Any child actor that is in these games is not only awful, but always sounds wrong. Like they use the wrong accent and sounds completely out of place. And it leads me to believe, honestly, that maybe the child actors are the kid of some Ubisoft executive. But even the adults, even the characters that are supposed to be good and played by professional actors, seem to be giving such a stiff, emotionless performance, and this is true from the smallest NPCs to decently important supporting characters. And just to highlight this, take a listen to these series of lines from the newer games for a second. These are a series of short dialogue pieces from NPCs, from supporting characters, and from main characters from all the newer games in Assassin's Creed.
Right, Demos. Now him, I don't know.
He's a demigod, worshipped and feared by the cult and all the Greek world.
Come, it is me, Basim.
Huh. 你是谁啊? Who?
Basim.
I am not an idiot. Everyone claims to be someone I know. Answer me this. What tea did my Basim like?
My mother! Oh no! What can we do? Something is wrong.
Well, look who it is.
And it is only natural that I surpass you soon.
How about another lesson then? A quick flight. Right here, right now. What do you say?
No, not now.
Understood. Perhaps later.
Okay, so now that you've listened to those, let's compare with some quick dialogue from Assassin's Creed 3, which I think has phenomenal voice acting. I picked a relatively famous scene, which might feel a little bit biased, but the entire cast of this game, and also Black Flag and the Ezio trilogy and Unity and Syndicate, had this level of voice acting. Sometimes it was even better than this. The entire cast was this good in all of these games. Take a listen.
What is it the Templars truly seek? Order, purpose, direction. No more than that. It's your lot that means to confound with this nonsense talk of freedom. Time was. The assassins professed a far more sensible goal. That of peace.
Freedom is peace.
Oh no. It's an invitation to chaos. Only look at this little revolution your friends have started. I have stood before the Continental Congress and listened to them stamp and shout. All in the name of liberty.
I mean, what the fuck? How can this even happen? Who is casting these people? The budgets for these Assassin's Creed games have gotten exponentially bigger. Producing a video game is on par with producing a Hollywood blockbuster movie now, or sometimes even more expensive. And the production times have increased with that as well, so it doesn't seem to be a budget problem, it doesn't seem to be a timeline problem. So I cannot imagine for the life of me why it would be so difficult to find good voice actors for these games. Especially considering that honestly most voice actors are extremely underpaid. And it's not like the cost of these better voice actors would be prohibitive. I know students who are studying acting from universities who can put up better performances than most of these voice acting performances in these games. And maybe I'm being nitpicky, but to me voice acting is just such an important part of a game. It's such an important aspect because it can bring a really good script and make it iconic. It can bring it into like legendary territory. And good voice acting can also salvage a bad script. If you write something that's not that good, but you have a voice actor who knows how to infuse emotions into the right words, you can really salvage a bad script, which is something that Ubisoft desperately needs a lot of the time. Good voice acting can bring a scene to life and immerse you in the game in a way that no real advanced graphics or insane cutscenes ever could. And what's a bigger issue for me is not what you miss from not having voice acting, is what you get for having bad voice acting. I can't count how many times I was enjoying myself in Assassin's Creed Mirage, for example, loving the story, loving the missions, only for a scene to completely shatter my immersion and make my ears bleed with how bad the acting was. It takes you out of it completely. It gives you the feeling of cheapness to the whole experience, and this is one of the points when people say that the newer games seem cheaper, even though, you know, they're more expensive to make and they're more expensive to buy. The overall quality feels more artificial, it feels cheaper. I think one of the biggest reasons for me, and of course there are many, one of the biggest reasons for me is the bad voice acting. Most people have commented on the issues with the cutscenes in the new Assassin's Creed, and while I agree that they have decreased in quality, most of the cutscenes in the new games just don't feel right. I kind of get where it's coming from because you have to make so many of them, and they still could be better, but I kind of get it. And to me, the audio, how things sound, is much more important than the visual, so I have a bigger problem with the voice acting than the actual cutscene quality. I would much rather sit through a poorly animated cutscene with stellar voice actors than a wonderful visual masterpiece performed by the most inept actors I've ever heard. Again, I don't know if this is a matter of direction and the voice actors are just being told to do things in a weird way, or it's just an expenses issue because you have to record so much dialogue and it needs to be recorded and edited and added and integrated, but honestly I cannot for the life of me understand why voice acting in Assassin's Creed, in modern Assassin's Creed, has taken this nosedive. To me, beyond all the lore and gameplay changes that the new ACs have made, and I know they're controversial and some people like them and some people don't, probably the biggest thing I miss from the old ACs, and something the newer games, apart from Bayek and some other exceptions, have really fucked up, is the voice acting. It's not all bad though, and that's one thing that I really wish they could improve, but it isn't all bad. There is one thing that I think the RPG Creeds actually have done that is amazing, and I discuss it in this video here, so you can feel free to watch that now.